Well, hi everyone. I'm Andy Asher. I'm editor of Bloomer Boomer. We're about the Good Life Movement plus 50, and I'm here with Annie Rivera. Hi, Annie.
Hi everybody, I'm Annie Rivera, and yes, I am also a YouTube creator, and I am known as the Renaissance Woman, they call me, journeying through life with my little trusty partner back there. His name is Panther. He's my little chihuahua, and on my channel I do product reviews, I do fitness and workout tips, favorite things, and I'm doing a series called Celebration Awareness, and love for you guys to check it out sometime.
That sounds great. So anyway, what we did was we decided to combine our interests and like a lot of people this day and age, I mean, we got to know each other online. So, that's a sign of the times, right, Annie?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so I'm a baby boomer, and Annie is Gen X. So we come to this maybe with our own perspectives. Not that it's gonna not that it really makes that much difference, but I guess it's a point, a reference point, you might say, and so that's what we're doing here, and we're having fun. You might call this I don't know, in the jargon of the TV world, a pilot. See how it goes, and go from there. That's you gotta try things out, don't you?
That's right. We sure do.
Absolutely. Okay, so what we're doing this week now, what we intend to do, our plan here is to bring out topics of interest, right, Annie? I mean, it can be all kinds of stuff, right?
Yes. Anything under the sun.
Okay. So, under the sun today is the topic of golfing. Now, the strange part of all this is, and the kind of the contradiction here is, I don't play golf. I have tried golf. I don't like golf. Yet I'm featuring golf. That makes a lot of sense, I know.
It does, and the extent of my golf knowledge is miniature golf. And so, Andy, let's tell them why we decided on golf.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, I think it's, what is it? Because golf month, is that the idea?
It is. August is the National Golf Month, yes.
Aha, okay. Well, that was then a smart move on our part. So, okay, August is National Golf Month, so we decided to do something on golfing. And to make this more relevant, since I know really virtually nothing about golf, and Annie, I guess she knows probably more than me. But
no.
Okay. So we're going to learn together. Is that the idea?
That's it.
Yeah.
We are.
No, I have definitely tried golf. As I said earlier, I don't like it. I'm not good at it. I suppose if I started earlier in life, I might have understood it. But there's a lot about golf, as any golfer knows. There's certain formalities you need to make sure you know about. And if you do any of those wrong, you're liable to get not quite kicked off the course, but that's a no-no. And then it's plus the game itself. It's I take nothing away from golfers. I know it's a very, very tough game. So,
and it's also very competitive, right? I mean, who knew?
Who knew how competitive it was?
Yeah, for sure. Who knew? I mean, I had no idea that golf to that extent is as competitive, like say with, in comparison with, say, basketball or baseball or whatever it may be. Sorry, that's my lovely little dog over there. He's making a count.
Announcing that the male or female?
It's a he.
Okay.
Panther.
Okay, he's announcing himself there. My dog is actually here, and he's a big old 70-pound shepherd mix, and he literally never barks. So
I'll trade you.
What's that?
I'll trade you.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. And but anyway, back to golf. So what we did was, in order to make this a little bit more relevant, and since we've already made it entirely clear that neither one of us knows a thing about golf, we decided to recruit a golf pro to help us understand it a little bit. And his name is Rick Sessinghaus. He was named top golf instructor in Los Angeles and Southern California. You can find him at Rickssinghaus.com. That's Sessinghaus. We'll put that on the notes here when we get around to that. But I think he would be a great source of information, and I enjoy talking with him a lot.
Good.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so we one of the questions we asked Rick was what got him interested in the game?
Well, it was interesting. I had played a bunch of other sports, and mine, who was on my baseball team, invited me to play golf. I honestly didn't think about it. I go, golf, don't even really, what is it about it? It looks easy, the ball's just on the tee. How hard can it be? And went out there as a 12-year-old and smacked it around and made a mess out of it. And I was kind of hooked, seeing what a simple game that was actually very, very challenging. And so as I got a little older, 16 or 17, and some of the other sports kind of, for injuries and other reasons, kind of fell off, golf became my passion. And so that one round as a 12-year-old stayed with me.
So at 12 years old, he started the game. He got hooked on it at 12 years old. Now, I played competitive tennis. I played in the juniors. I played in high school and some college. And, I know what it's like to get hooked on something. And it's just that I wish, in a way, that I had learned golf at 12, because I would probably be playing it today a lot more than I would be playing tennis. But he's a guy that has taken his experience and knowledge, and he's passing it on to others, which I think is a great thing.
Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you brought your little friend to the set here.
Did you see him? Look at
yeah. See, he just wanted some attention. That's why he was barking.
He did.
Yeah.
He just wanted some attention.
He's a good mascot.
Yeah. He's definitely made cameo appearances in my videos.
Is that right? Oh, in other words, he behaves himself okay?
He does. Sometimes he just kind of steals the show. He has my blooper reel for the most part.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. He's on the blooper reel. Oh, okay. Well, you'll have to share that blooper reel sometime. So anyway, Rick has a niche, if you will, or a niche.
Tell us about that. Tell us about your niche, Rick.
Sure. I think when I first started teaching, and again, it was more general population, I would kind of give them a quick interview process to see where they were at, how long they had been playing, what was their background with maybe other instructors, or how many books they've read, just to kind of get a baseline. Certainly somebody who's never touched a club, doesn't know anything about it, you've got to start with some of the terminology and some of the fundamentals just to get them started, like you say, kind of the grip and how to just get the basics down. But nowadays it's more of I vetted out a little bit more with questionnaires and personality profiles and things to understand how people work under pressure and how they play under pressure. So I use mental game assessment forms. I use a lot of interview process to see where they're at, and then let that kind of dictate what is the first steps in the coaching process.
I got you. And why do you like golf? Oh, well, I interrupted in there. But anyway, that gives you an idea of his process. And, by the way, I want to tell you something, that these questions actually for Rick were posed by me, but they were written by Annie. So these last two questions are her responsibility. And do you remember? You don't know all of that they are, but you said you asked Annie. One of the questions you asked Rick was that some people say golfing isn't a sport. Do you remember that?
Yeah. So some people do kind of regard golf as more of a leisure thing, a leisurely thing
endeavor.
rather than a sport.
Yeah. Well, okay. He took exception to that. Listen.
Well, I don't know how they're defining real sport. I mean, golf has all the elements that you need, I believe, for a sport. It requires hand-eye coordination. It requires, if you walk in, which is all professional competitions, you have to walk the course. I know that for a lot of people that doesn't seem like it's exerting a lot, but you walk up and down some of those hills, you may get winded. I think the amount of mental skills that are needed are probably more in golf than other sports because it is an individual sport. You're on your own. It's just you. You don't have to rely on a teammate, vice versa. And that can put pressure on people. And so mentally to be able to focus during a round with the distractions, deal with the bad shots, there's a lot of mental skills that are involved with golf. So that becomes, to me, it becomes a sport. There are the physical elements. You have to be flexible enough to swing, to get the club going at a correct speed, to get the ball going out there, and having touch around the green. And so definitely some skill sets that are extremely high. And for those that say that, I always look at these professional athletes in other sports who then play golf, and they don't look very athletic at all because it's just a different type of sport. And so if it wasn't a sport or was so easy, then why can't these high-level athletes go and transition into golf? Is probably the question I would throw back to them.
I think he really makes a good argument. I mean, I think golfers might get a little defensive about that question, and I might have noted a little bit of that, but it's from the standpoint of exercise on the green and walking, it's good. Now, I played golf, I don't know, maybe a dozen times. And the most fun I ever had was with a buddy of mine, and he and I would go out and play. And I was as bad as I was. He was okay, and he never made me feel really bad about how poorly I was playing. So, and I don't like doing anything, like most people, I guess, don't want to do anything if they don't do it halfway decently. So I always had fun. And the only other time that I really had a lot of fun, and it was when I went out and I drove the liquor wagon, I guess. I'm sure there's a better name for it than that. And that was great. I was I know, it was a tournament that I attended, and so I was driving a little cart around, and I was a popular one on the there because, of course, I had all the booze.
Oh, and the wheels probably too.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, that's me. I mean, that's what I would probably do golfing for, is just kind of for the exercise, just walking and swinging the ball or swinging the golf club. Sorry, yeah. And just for the exercise.
Yeah, that's absolutely. And you know what? The last and final question you asked him was, I think, the biggest doozer of all. You remember that one?
Yes, I do. This is the golden question, Rick. Everybody wants to know. Who is the better golfer, men or women?
It's a tough question, right? I got to be a little politically correct here, right? But it's interesting, I'll tell you. I mean, if we looked at pure power, obviously, we look at the PGA Tour, the men are going to hit the ball further. There's no doubt about that. And yet, when I talk to some of my male students, and they're the 40 to 50, 60-year-old golfer who likes to play every week, they actually enjoy watching women's golf far more than men's golf, because women on the LPGA Tour have such wonderful tempo and balance, and they appreciate that because they go, you know what, I can get pretty close to that. The guys on the PGA Tour, they hit the ball really long ways, and you can't really relate to that. And so, I'm kind of going around the question here a little bit.
Well, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I think the males have some strengths on that, but the female golfers and how consistent.
Okay, all right. Well, I think you gave a good answer. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, in the case of tennis, I actually enjoy watching women play because they stroke the ball. They have more rallies. A men's game is pretty much all power. It's gotten better than it was, but in women's tennis, there's a lot more gamesmanship and a lot more playtime. So maybe in a way that's what he's saying about women's golf.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
I think so, yeah. Well, hey, Annie, this is it. It was fun, and I hope our viewers and audience got a thing or two out of it.
I hope so too. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us and for tuning in. And look for my information down below in the description box, and hopefully you'll tune in to my channel as well. Thank you, Andy, for having me on your show.
Thanks, Annie, and thanks for everybody watching. Check us out at bloomerboomer.com and like us on Facebook. Have a great day.
Right.
Bye now.